In the not-too-distant future, Earth faced a cataclysmic event that would forever alter the course of history. The human race, having expanded its reach across the galaxy, encountered a devastating enemy, the relentless and technologically superior Draxian horde. The Draxians, with their advanced weaponry and ruthless tactics, waged a war of annihilation against humanity. Despite their best efforts, Earth's defenses were overwhelmed. Major cities fell, and human civilization began to crumble under the relentless assault. The once thriving planet was reduced to ruins, with only a few scattered survivors struggling to endure the harsh reality of their new world. In the Arctic Circle, hidden deep within the icy wastes, lay a secret facility known only to a select few. This facility, built during the height of the human empire's technological advancements, housed a last resort contingency, a team of super soldiers designed to turn the tide of battle if humanity faced extinction. The facility, known as the Winter Fortress, remained dormant for years. Its inhabitants, the Arctic super soldiers, were in cryogenic stasis, awaiting the day when their awakening would become necessary. These soldiers were the epitome of human enhancement, equipped with advanced exoskeletons and state-of-the-art weaponry, designed to survive and fight in the harshest of environments. As Earth's situation grew increasingly dire, the remnants of humanity launched a desperate final offensive against the Draxians, but their efforts proved futile. One by one, the last strongholds fell, and the human race was pushed to the brink of extinction. The Draxians celebrated their victory, believing that their enemies had been vanquished once and for all. In the frozen silence of the Arctic, however, the Winter Fortress's alarms blared to life. A fail-safe mechanism, triggered by the last human effort to preserve their species, initiated the awakening sequence of the Arctic super soldiers. The once dormant chambers began to hum with activity, and the soldiers' cryogenic pods slowly opened. Commander Elinga Frost, the leader of the Arctic super soldiers, awoke with a jolt. Her eyes, still adjusting to the dim light, took in the surroundings. The facility had changed in the years of dormancy, with layers of frost and dust covering its once pristine surfaces. "Status report," she ordered, her voice steady despite the years of inactivity. Her second-in-command, Sergeant Jake Harris, emerged from his pod. "Commander Frost, systems are coming online. We have a full complement of operational soldiers. The facility's data shows that humanity has been defeated, but we're ready to deploy." Frost's expression hardened as she took in the gravity of their situation. "If humanity has fallen, we must act quickly. The Draxians cannot be allowed to claim victory without facing the full wrath of our last hope." With the facility's systems online, the Arctic super soldiers prepared for deployment. Equipped with advanced thermal cloaking and weaponry, they were the perfect counter to the Draxians' technological superiority. The facility's cold environment had preserved their equipment, and the soldiers were ready to re-enter a world that had changed beyond recognition. As the Arctic super soldiers emerged from their facility, the world outside was unrecognizable. The once familiar landscapes were now a desolate wasteland, scared by the Draxian invasion. The cities that had stood as symbols of human achievement were reduced to rubble, and the air was thick with the acrid smell of destruction. Commander Frost led her team through the ruined remnants of the once great cities, assessing the damage. Their mission was clear: eliminate any remaining Draxian forces and reclaim Earth's territory. The soldiers moved with precision, their advanced training and equipment making them formidable opponents. The Draxians, however, had not anticipated this new threat. They had grown complacent, believing their victory was complete. The remnants of their forces, scattered across Earth, were ill-prepared for the arrival of the Arctic super soldiers. As the soldiers ventured into the heart of the devastation, they encountered scattered Draxian patrols. The initial skirmishes were swift and brutal. The Draxians, caught off guard by the advanced technology and tactical prowess of the super soldiers, found themselves outmatched. Frost and her team struck with deadly efficiency, their enhanced abilities making them nearly invincible. In one particularly fierce encounter, Frost faced off against a Draxian warlord. The warlord, towering and menacing, underestimated Frost's resolve. "You dare challenge me?" he roared, his voice echoing through the desolate landscape. Frost's response was calm but resolute. "This is for humanity. Your reign of terror ends here." The battle was intense, but Frost's superior combat skills and technology gave her the edge. She maneuvered with precision, using her exoskeleton's advanced features to outflank and outwit the warlord. With a final, decisive strike, she defeated her opponent, sending a clear message to the Draxians: humanity would not be defeated so easily. As the super soldiers continued their campaign, they discovered pockets of human survivors hiding in the ruins. These survivors, though few in number, were resilient and resourceful. The presence of the Arctic super soldiers inspired hope among them, and they rallied to support the soldiers' efforts. The reclamation of Earth was a grueling process. The Draxians, now aware of the threat posed by the super soldiers, began to fortify their positions. Skirmishes turned into full-scale battles as the two sides clashed with renewed ferocity. The Arctic super soldiers, however, remained undeterred. Their mission was not only to liberate Earth, but to ensure that the Draxians would never again threaten humanity. In one significant battle, the super soldiers launched a coordinated assault on a Draxian stronghold. The Draxians, confident in their defenses, were caught off guard by the precision and power of the attack. Frost led the charge, her team moving with disciplined efficiency. The stronghold fell, marking a turning point in the conflict. As the Arctic super soldiers continued their campaign, their efforts began to turn the tide of the war. The Draxians, faced with a relentless and unexpected adversary, found their once secure positions crumbling. The super soldiers' ability to adapt and overcome the Draxian defenses was proving to be a decisive factor in the battle for Earth. Commander Frost and her team worked tirelessly, their focus unwavering. The battles were intense, but each victory brought them closer to reclaiming their planet. The survivors, inspired by the soldiers' bravery, continued to provide vital support, offering intelligence and resources. In the midst of the conflict, Frost received a transmission from Admiral Steele, the last surviving leader of the Terran fleet. "Commander Frost, we've received word from the Draxian High Command. They want to negotiate." Frost's expression was one of skepticism. "Negotiate? After everything they've done?" Steele's voice was resolute. "They've been pushed to the brink. They know that their remaining forces are no match for your team. This might be our chance to end the war." Frost considered the proposal. The thought of negotiating with the Draxians was troubling, but the idea of ending the conflict and saving what remained of humanity was compelling. "We'll proceed with caution. Arrange a meeting." The negotiation took place in a neutral zone, far from the front lines. Frost, accompanied by a small team, met with the Draxian representatives. The Draxians, their once proud demeanor now subdued, offered terms for peace. Emperor Zorith, the leader of the Draxian Empire, addressed Frost. "We acknowledge your strength and resolve. We are willing to cease hostilities and withdraw from Earth if you agree to certain terms." Frost listened carefully, assessing the terms presented. The Draxians sought to retain some level of influence over Earth, but their demands were minimal compared to the devastation they had wrought. After careful consideration, Frost agreed to the terms, recognizing the need to secure peace and rebuild. The ceasefire was declared, and the Draxians began their withdrawal. The Arctic super soldiers continued their efforts, ensuring that the remaining Draxian forces were removed from Earth. The planet, though scared and battered, began the long process of recovery. The victory of the Arctic super soldiers was celebrated as a symbol of human resilience and determination. The world, though forever changed, was united in its resolve to rebuild and reclaim its place in the galaxy. The soldiers, once a last resort, had proven to be humanity's saviors, and their legacy became a beacon of hope for future generations. Commander Frost and her team, though weary from their battles, found solace in their achievements. The world they had fought to protect was now on the path to healing, and the threat of the Drexians had been vanquished. As the Arctic super soldiers returned to their facility, they looked out over the recovering world. Their mission had been completed, but their legacy would endure. The resilience and bravery of humanity, embodied by the Arctic super soldiers, had triumphed against the odds, securing a future for Earth and its inhabitants.